From far and wide and even a mile and a half away, Super Late Models Racing's best have gathered once again to partake in one of July's great racing traditions, all in pursuit of their chance at history and capturing the coveted Larry Degens Memorial Trophy. The world's fastest quarter-mile oval plays host to the Cobblestone Hotel's 46th Annual Slinger Nationals, presented by Lynch Buick GMC of West Bend and Miller Lite at Slinger Super Speedway. Good evening, and so happy you could be joining us on this lovely Tuesday night for Flow Racing's live flag-to-flag coverage of the 46th Annual Slinger Nationals. Blake McCandless, Jim Trado, and Bob Dillner on the call with you on Flow Racing. And Jim, I know Steve Apel puts it well that everybody that runs here at Slinger, they do so all year long for tonight. And from the competitors, how they embrace it, to the fans, I don't think it's hard to see exactly why.
You mentioned Steve Apel. He's the 6 times.
Let's look at more on Tate Fogelman from Blake.
Guys, I spoke with Tate Fogelman yesterday before qualifying, and Tate Fogelman was very confident in this race car. It's a brand new Reynolds Racing chassis that he ran at Orange County a couple of weeks ago, in which he started in the back of the field and drove up to the top 10. But he was so proud of the effort that he and his crew made to get this car out here. It's just him and his dad that work on this car after they get home from work throughout the week, and these are the type of tracks that he said he loves. Speed, high grip, no doubt that you'll see Tate Fogelman at the front of the field, and he's proven that right now for the former Craftsman Truck Series winner.
Had a great run going at Orange County. Connor Hall has just pitted, about a lap and a half away from the restart from 5th. Let's go to Blake McCandless for an update.
Well, the concern is here for Connor Hall. They thought initially it was the right rear going soft, but then Connor Hall queued up on the radio and said the car is loud. I think it is an issue with the exhaust. They allowed the team to come down to the pit lane. They were not going to allow him to keep going, as you can see the damage that is dragging underneath the car of Connor Hall, trying to frankly work this restart. They've taken the one to go, guys.
Well, that's a tough.
And also an update on the number 1 of Andrew Grady. You guys, I think, in the booth remember vividly when we caught up with him yesterday. He had a really great quote when it talked about running the outside in qualifying. He said, you got to go into 1 and 2 about 3 inches from Jesus to be able to make speed at that end of the racetrack. They've had a long discussion under this caution period where they have re-emphasized that as well. They've talked a lot about being able to choose on the outside lane how many rows they're willing to give up, but don't give up on that one car. He's made up about 10 spots already in the very early portion of this race.
Kevin, is that what you had to do last year? Well, for more on the 81 car, we'll go to Blake.
Well, Eric, Mini Tyrell, we know these are the types of tracks he loves. They're fast, they're high grip. He was very happy with his race car on the radio. He said, I need the nose to just be a little more stuck to the ground when I get off throttle. He is not free off at all, but keep an eye on that 81, one of the fastest cars towards the end of that run that was starting to chase down Tristan McKee and Landon Lewis, Caitlin.
Well, Blake, speaking of Tristan,
38 drivers, and even just watching the pace around, you can see it on our wide shot right there. Just look at how much traffic there's going to be in just such a short amount of time. Again, 25, 26 cars can feel like a lot here. 38 is a ton, and it's going to be really difficult for these drivers to manage, because we see so many times, whether it's the Lee Pulliam Performance cars or several other drivers, Brandon Pierce is one that comes to mind, that when they often come to these cheese grater abrasive surface races, they're the ones who are almost looking to fall all the way back to the leader to save and try to manage their tires early. It's going to be a lot more difficult with way more drivers that have the potential of going a lap down. There is a free pass, a lucky dog that's available for them should they be in that position. But again, they're going to come up on lap traffic quickly at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway tonight.
Will have to be racing lap traffic.
And again, your spotter is so important to this race. I know even talking with Jonathan Schaefer, he's got Josh Kosick calling the shots for him on the roof. That spotter communication, especially in a race like this, is so important, because as the driver, you have to feel the race car and you know exactly what you're feeling in there if you're sliding the tires or anything like that. But those spotters are very important to looking at those lap times, trying to communicate what strategy they're trying to achieve, what lap time they're trying to go for. If they can see the car spinning the tires maybe in a way that the driver can't necessarily feel it so early on in the race, spotters, they're as much a part of this as the drivers, because they play such a big key in reminding these guys what they're supposed to run and how they're supposed to execute this race.
Involved in that late race incident, he's going to try to make his way up into the top 10. He's got that 10th spot directly ahead of him, but coming around this time, 2 laps to go for Ty Majeski, looking to write his name into the history books. Only the best of the best have won the Slinger Nationals multiple times, and the white flag is out for Ty Majeski, a 4-time winner, and Dick Trickle, Joe Shear, Rich Bickle. You're going to have to add another name to that list. Ty Majeski wins his 4th Slinger Nationals.
Denny's mission, the 125.
2 to go. That last time by, they were nearly dead even between each of these two competitors, as Minnie Tyrell looking to go to victory lane for the 2nd time this season. If he comes back around to see the white flag, he has just one more trip to do it, and he'll get it. 1 lap left for Minnie Tyrell to try to close the deal here at Dominion. He said prior to the race, all I want to do is for these families to have a good time, but he's going to have the best time. Minnie's mission is complete tonight. He'll win at Dominion. Find out as they work their way into the Death Wish Coffee restart zone. Hall gets back on the binders, but Quaco a better launch on the top side. They're side by side down into 1 for 1st and for 3rd. They lean on each other out of turn number 2.
Right now it's lead.
Quaco may try to cross over with the white flag out. 1 more lap to go here at Langley. They get side by side for 2nd. Quaco behind Hall. What does he do down into 3? They'll be 3 wide down into turn 3. 3 drivers slide up the racetrack, a drag race down to the line, and just by the skin of a nose, Connor Hall wins the Visit Hampton.com 125 by 7 1/1000ths of a second, and he does it in the top lane, and he didn't need the blue car to do that.
Straight away.
Baldwin saw that as his chance to try and loosen him up on the top groove and get away. They make a little contact. You wonder, is the toe knocked out for the 51? Doesn't look like it. A little bit of damage for both of them. He jumps up on the rear corner, but he's still got a chance at 30 grand. 5 laps to go.
And all for the race lead.
They're still going to have a little bit of lap traffic. Tristan McKee, a 2.5 seconds behind these two. Lopez, the slower car. How does that play into the factor here? Coming to 3 to go. Baldwin's going to try to arc him out and get the run off at turn number 4. They won't be able to get to Chase Hale in that 92 throwback, but Spencer slips up in 1 and 2. Baldwin looking to the bottom. Here they go, side by side for the race leaders. They're coming to the white flag. 30 grand on the line. Who gets back here first? 1 to go.
What a race. Was that worth the wait or what?
39 1/1000ths of a second. How about that? What a race.
Hickory Motor Speedway.
We're here are the veterans, and that's what really counts.
And that's kind of what stuck out to me as well. We've had a chaotic year. We've had a lot of different winners. We've had a lot of different drivers that went to many different racetracks. You see Malik Ray right there doing a burnout. He won at Atlanta. We saw Wyatt Tinsley win the season opening race at Daytona. Neither one of those drivers qualified for the playoffs because they failed to stay in the top 20. So despite the fact we have all these different winners, we have a number of races that, yes, it came down to some pretty aggressive finishes, a lot of late race yellows and everything. But look at our championship 4 drivers that I don't think we're shocked at all to see here. And again, we talk about familiar faces. Bobby Zielinski, starting to lose count of how many times he's made the championship 4. Steven Wilson, your champion for a year ago, trying to become the first driver since Ray Alfalla to repeat. Parker White, he's been kind of one of those crops of those drivers the last couple of years that has come in and really made an impact. But got to say, despite the fact we've had so much chaos this year, it is still the same elite drivers that we see competing for this championship.
Well, you know what, Alan, season as we're here at the championship.
The one thing that has really stuck out to me over past seasons that we've had, and that has been this incredible rookie class that we've seen come into this series. 8 drivers coming into this series, that's a lot. That's more than what we typically see in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series, yet we have 4 that are locked into the series next year. 5, I guess, if you want to count Tyler Gary, who's fighting for his life to stay in this series next year. We also have one that's competing on the stage in Tucker Minter to win this championship. And that's not something that typically happens. It takes these drivers a little while through the road to pro ladder to be able to get their feet wet, and once they finally get to this level, to be able to compete and be consistent. But I've been so impressed. Jordy Lopez, Tucker Minter, Michael Cozy Jr., Tyler Gary. We have had an incredible rookie class this season that has really come in strong and immediately made an impact in this series.
And the fact that we have all those good rookies just shows